It's Wise again. I just got back from a bike ride where I got a flat tire and was stranded. Needless to say, we need to open up some Pokemon cards now. But before we get into that, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel because it really helps me grow. Last video, I gave you guys a teaser for a challenge that I wanted to put on. Well, today will be that day. It's an idea I've had for some time now as a way to combine my interest of video games with my newfound interest in Pokemon cards. I keep mentioning that I want to do something that is unique and has never been done before. So for the past few months, I've been creating rules for a challenge that I'm going to put on that features the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games with Pokemon cards. I would like you as the creators to attempt it yourself and tag me online with the results. So let's get to the rules and let's get it. I'm going to post all of the rules and challenge information on my social media pages. So that includes Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. But for now, I'm going to read over all of the rules so that you have an understanding of what I'm about to do. But for future videos, I'm going to leave this out. Just remember, you could always go back and check out the rules in my social media. So welcome to the Pokemon Pack Pull Challenge. The objective is to defeat the Elite Four in either Scarlet or Violet in the quickest time possible by strategically selecting Pokemon through card pack pulls. This unique challenge centers around the excitement of opening packs to shape your team and gameplay strategy. The first rule, each player must choose 8 card packs from Scarlet and Violet or its expansions, Paldea Evolved or Obsidian Flamed. Begin by selecting and opening 2 packs before commencing the game. Achieving badges unlocks new pack opportunities. 2 badges equals 4 total packs opened. 4 badges equals 6 total packs opened. 6 badges equals 8 total packs opened. A segment for here on out refers to the period between opening 2 packs and obtaining 2 badges, permitting the opening of 2 more packs. Stop the time after you beat the Elite Four, and remember to post on social media and to tag WagsTCG. Alright, so getting started. Your first 2 packs dictate your starting Pokemon and its fate. So if you pull a starter evolution or its equivalent, it must become one of your choices. In the absence of a starter evolution card, your starter is determined by the first energy card pulled, but it has to be, of course, grass, water, or fire. This card also counts as one of your initial 2 Pokemon. Now, if neither a starter evolution nor an energy card is drawn, you have the liberty to choose any starter. However, the chosen Pokemon must be boxed once your first 2 are selected. Now, when you open up your 2 packs, you'll have the option of choosing your Pokemon. From your 2 open packs, select 2 Pokemon each time. Capture them before securing the second badge within the current segment. If you choose an evolution Pokemon, capture its pre-evolution and evolve it before the second badge in the current segment. But remember, this is a time challenge, so be strategic about choosing evolution Pokemon, as it may take time to evolve. 1 rare card per segment from your selected packs can be added to your team. While there's no level cap, evolutions can only occur under specific conditions, which I'll explain here shortly. And if an illustration rare or a full art Pokemon emerges, enjoy it as a bonus. Utilize it as an extra evolution for any type, or include it as a 3rd Pokemon alongside your chosen duo. You'll accumulate more than 6 Pokemon throughout the game, allowing you to swap team members as desired. However, you can't go back to previous pack pulls and select a different Pokemon. You're stuck with the team you choose within the segment. Alright, now evolving your Pokemon. Acquire an energy card for your Pokemon's type to enable an evolution. Each energy card can be used once at any time in any segment. Evolution is possible with duplicate cards or by pulling an evolution Pokemon from your packs. An energy card and/or a duplicate only results in a single evolution. For example, you can't use a single leaf card to evolve Sprigatito into Masquerada. The leaf energy card would evolve it into Florigato, then the energy card is no longer active. 5. Trainer cards. Enhance your team with trainer cards, each attaching an item to a Pokemon. The number of trainer cards you've obtained determines the count of items you can assign. You're free to switch and modify items as you progress. 6. Facing Titans. If you draw a Titan card, Cloth, Bombardier, Earthworm, Quaking Earth Titan, or Dondozo, you must engage in battle before challenging the Elite Four. Note, Titan cards can be one of your 2 chosen pair if you wish. So embrace the journey of a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Pack Pull Challenge, where pack openings define your strategy, evolution shapes your team, and tactical prowess leads you to victory. Alright, we have our 8 packs here. I've decided to go with 3 Paldea Evolved, 3 Scarlet and Violet, and 2 Obsidian Flames. So I guess the first thing that we need to do here is pick my first 2 packs. I've been doing a little bit of research of what I want to do, and I think the best approach is to start with a Scarlet and Violet for sure, but I'm not entirely sure about the second one. I think I want to avoid the obsidian flames for now because there are some Pokemon that are not in the game itself. There's also some of the good Pokemon that I want are like Tyranitar and all that, and we want to make that for a little bit of a later game. But we also want to switch things up a little bit. So let's do one Scarlet and Violet and one Paldea Evolved. I was thinking maybe 2 Scarlet and Violets because that way I could potentially get doubles right off the bat. But I like to get I like to play on the wild side. So let us begin. We're going to start with the Scarlet and Violet. I am hoping what I'm really hoping for right off the bat is to get a starter evolution. I think they're some of the most powerful Pokemon in the game, especially if you're able to evolve it to the 3rd evolution with some energy cards. So I am going to put that here and we're going to pull this out. I'm going to put that to the side. We have our code card here, which I'm going to put over here. And we're going to start off with our energy card. So as I mentioned in the rules, the energy card will be the evolution stones for this game. So right off the bat, we have a lightning energy card. Which way should we go? Let's go starting from this side. All right, so here are our options. Skiddo. There we go, a Quaxly. All right, that's what we like to see. That's why we went with the Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet and Paldea Evolved are the only ones with the starter evolutions. So yeah, that's why we're going with that. So hopefully in our next one, we could pull a water energy, or I don't know, maybe they have duplicates in the same one. All right, and we have a Lechonky Boy, we have a Floatzel, and we have our first trainer card. So our trainer card will be used as the, what was it? It will be an item card, so I could put an item card on the Pokemon. Lucario, ooh, that's a good one, but I will have to evolve it right away. Oh, and right off the bat, we have a Bombardier, so that initiates the rule where I must battle Bombardier at some point in the game. So I'm going to put that to the side, and we have a Cyclizar. So I think with this pack, I'm going to have to go with the Quaxly. But let's take away some that will not be part of this. I like the Lucario, but I will have to evolve him before the 2nd gym. I don't quite remember the level. Let's just take a look here. 1 second. Brief intermission. Okay, so Lucario is a friendship level. So that is a potential. I like that. So we're going to put the trainer and that to the side. We're going to do, I don't know about Skiddo. Let's take away these. We're going to take away that. If I'm going to choose Quaxly, then Floatzel is probably not going to be in the cards. But Cyclizar, so that means we can use a rare. Since Cyclizar was the rare we pulled, we can use a rare in the next pack. So let's put those to the side. I like what we have here with Lucario, Quaxly, and Bombardier. So Bombardier will be a challenge card. And we are going to open up our Paldea Evolved. How does everybody feel about the new angle that I have? I kind of like it. I kind of like the idea of having a little bit more of a larger playing field to open up cards. Okay, we have our Paldea Evolved. So what we're really hoping for, as I mentioned, is a water energy. No, we have a darkness. Okay, so now we have a darkness, a trainer card, and a lightning. So we can evolve a lightning Pokemon if we do end up getting one. Okay, so we have a Wingull. That's not a bad option either. Pineco. Meryl for an Azumarill. That could be an option as well. Ooh, I like the Mankey Florigato. And a Quaxwell. Oh my goodness. Okay, we pulled a lot of starters. So this is why we're going with the 2 Paldea Evolved. And another energy card. So we could fit our 2 Pokemon before the 2 badges with 2 items if we want. A Gothitelle. Ooh, a Paldean Tauros. That might be an option. And a Celruledge. I don't know if I like this one early on, only because you do need to do a lot to get him. That could take away a lot of our time. So we're going to put him to the side. Pineco, I don't think that's an option early on. We don't want that. Wingull if we're going with Quaxwell or Florigato. Okay, what are we left here with? I like the Paldean Tauros as a fighting option. But a Mankey early on might be very, very good, especially if we can evolve the Mankey. we could find a way to get an Annihilate really for later game. Oh man, okay. I think I'm gonna go with Florigato because I think there's too many good water type Pokemon to pull that we could eventually use. And to be honest, I used Quaxley in my first playthrough, but I did not use Sprigatito. So this will be a fun way to try something new. Meryl, we're gonna put away for now. Gothitelle, I think that's more endgame. I don't know if I want that on the team right away. Mankey, Paldean Tauros. What could I get? So I'm playing Scarlet, so I could get a Fire Tauros. So maybe if we get lucky later on, we could use that. So you know what? We're going to put this Paldean Tauros away because we are left with 2 decent fighting options here. We're also going to put those 2 away. These are our final options. So Florigato for sure, Lucario or Mankey. So my only issue with Lucario is it might end up being a long game type play. I just don't know how long it'll take to up that friendship before the second. Maybe it's just a matter of him following you around quite a bit. That Mankey would be easier early on, and we could get. This is a tough one. I think we have to go with Lucario. I think we have to give it a try. We're gonna go for it. All right, Lucario and Florigato. Those are our 2. Easy. All right, let's get playing. Our Paldea journey begins by selecting a Sweet Dew. Today we're going to pick the Slick Back because we mean business. Let's quickly recap our game plan. So we picked Florigato and Lucario. This might be a little bit risky because Lucario requires friendship to evolve, but we're going to start by selecting, of course, Sprigatito to eventually evolve to Florigato at level 16. For Lucario, we're going to find Riolu at area 4 of, I believe, the Western Province. But before that, we're going to battle a bunch of people here. We're going to try to level Sprigatito and prepare it for the battle against our rival here shortly before we get into Megadoza. Confidence is up here, so we're about to dominate this Gulpin. A couple leafages, then I realize it's not effective, so I'm going to use my bite. But then we get to the gates. Thou shall not pass, because we have to take on Nemona. She didn't put up much of a fight on the beach after I picked Sprigatito, but this time she comes with a secret weapon, the Pommy, the Terra Pommy. Does anyone remember the days when your rival, like Blue, would have chose the Pokemon that you were weak against? Well, the modern games are not like that anymore, and that's one of the main critiques of the modern Pokemon games for me, is that your rival chooses the Pokemon that you are super effective against. It makes the games almost too easy early on in the beginning. I remember taking on Blue, and you use Tackle or Scratch with your Squirtle or Charmander over and over again, hoping that you would take out their Bulbasaur or whatever the Pokemon was. Anyways, that's not like that anymore. Now we get easy mode, we do a couple leafages, and Quaxley is gone. She will surprise me with this little Pommy though. So this Pommy will tear her up, and it's going to start doing Thunder Shocks that do significant damage to my Sprigatito. Here I was thinking that my Sprigatito almost fully healed up. This is going to be no issue. Once again, a couple leafages, and then we move on to Megadoza and we try to get that Riolu. But this is not the case. Instead, I'm treated to Thunder Shocks, which aren't effective by the way, that land some serious damage to my Sprigatito. I don't have any other Pokemon, of course, because we are playing to the card rules. I can only have Sprigatito, which would eventually evolve into Florigato, but we cannot select anything else. So I'm relying just on the Sprigatito for this battle, but then Pommy lands a critical hit and I'm down to 4 health. This is where I'm starting to freak out, but luckily I land that leafage and we're all good. Once we're in Megadoza, I start thinking about my strategy a little bit more. The main problem, of course, is trying to evolve Riolu. We need to get that friendship up and evolve it as soon as possible. Otherwise, all this risk will be for nothing. We want Lucario quickly so that we can dominate the gyms and get through it as quickly as possible. So I end up having a big brain play. We're allowed 2 items because we got 2 trainer cards in our pack openings. I think we need 1 to increase the damage of leafage for Sprigatito, so I get a Miracle Seed early on. We'll upgrade that later. And then 2, I realized that we could get a Soothe Bell here. Now a Soothe Bell, when given to a Pokemon, will increase the friendship more quickly. This is what we need to evolve Riolu as quickly as possible. Remember kids, go to class. So before we get anything done, we have to do our mathematics, we have to do our science classes, we have to get prepared before we could take on the assignment. I'm just joking, you don't need any of that for what we're about to do. Today, we're going to be doing the champion rank quest line, so we get this from Nemona. This is to beat the Elite Four. This challenge specifically, that's all we're trying to do. We're going to maybe take on the Titans based off of the cards we got. We did get Bombardier, so we will be taking that on and whatever we pull later on. And just like that, we found our Riolu standing right here at our lockers. After making several attempts to steal that Riolu, I realized that's not a feature built into this game. Game Freak, if you're listening, I'd love a Team Rocket game where you could go around and steal other people's Pokemon. Maybe that's just the evil person in me, but I think I need something like that. Alright, no more fooling around. Now we have to get busy. We're about an hour into this gaming session. We have no badges, and most importantly, we need Riolu. So we make our way over to the West Province Area 4. I'm going to have to take on a little bit more powerful Pokemon. I only have a level 10 Sprigatito at this moment. So I have to try to avoid this Scyther, this Terra Scyther here, and just keep rolling around until we find that Sprigatito. Quick correction though, it is the South Province Area 4 that we're going to. Now Riolu is a little bit harder of a spawn, so we have to keep our eyes open for a tiny little blue speck in this, what I consider 480p graphics and very limited texture qualities here. Truthfully, I was starting to get a little bit nervous here. It had been some time and I still haven't found our Riolu. I was starting to question whether I was in the right spot or not, but I ended up wrapping around this little canyon here. I see a couple blue specks, but they're not the blue specks we're looking for. I do manage to find some rare candies, a couple TMs, some potions, some revives. Now this will become very important later on, you'll see, but for now these are not important. We need to find that Riolu, and the Swablu is not it. However, we do some more jumping around here and you're gonna see it here shortly. I think I'm stuck, but we managed to get up, and I turn to the right and then I turn to the left and I see a blue speck. There's a Swablu, but there's the Riolu. Now there's one problem. I completely forgot that my Sprigatito is hardly leveled whatsoever, and this Riolu is level 22, so double my Sprigatito. So I'm here thinking, Wags, you idiot. I do a couple attacks against Riolu here, a leafage, it does absolutely nothing, and I only have Pokeballs, no Quick Balls, nothing to really help me. So we're gonna pray to the RNG gods that this Pokeball works, and nothing. And this is where I panic. With that Metal Claw, I know I can't attack and I can't use a potion. I only have one opportunity here. RNG gods, please save me. Otherwise, we're going back to the start. We can't revive a save file. We get 1, 2, and 3, and I thank the Lord we got the Riolu. So the Riolu I got has a nature where my special defense is increased and my speed is decreased. Usually this wouldn't be a really good nature whatsoever, but I start to think about it a little bit more and I realize having a little bit more extra defense isn't too bad, especially since this Riolu will be over leveled for most of this game. The speed will probably be higher than needed anyways. So a little extra defense going into some of the challenges. But then another problem arises here. And what is it? Riolu is not listening to me. Just like Asa's Charizard, Riolu is giving me a difficult time, and the only way to make it listen to me is to get my first badge against the Bug Trainer here shortly. And that's going to be made very difficult if Riolu isn't listening to me and Sprigatito is not leveled up. And at the same time, Riolu still needs its friendship increased. So I start a little picnic here and I toss the ball. Hopefully Riolu will like me a little bit more. I give it a little bit of a scrub down. I wash it off and I'm increasing that friendship while I have that Soothe Bell attached to it. Even with an under-leveled Sprigatito and a Riolu who is not listening to me, I decide to take on Katie as my first gym challenge. This ends up being a lot more difficult than it needs to be. My Sprigatito, who is a grass type, is not good against these bug type, and it's under leveled, so I'm not really relying on Sprigatito to do anything here. However, I do have a Riolu who's over leveled but is not listening to me. In my limited intellect of Pokemon, I attempt to use Hone Claws to increase my attack and accuracy for my Sprigatito. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I use Hone Claws a couple times, maybe I could use Leafage or Bite and one-shot these Pokemon. Well, I learned really quickly that is not the case. In fact, it hardly does anything, so Sprigatito is a complete wash. Instead, we're going to take out this nibble with Sprigatito. Then we're going to switch into Riolu in an attempt to one-shot both Teddiursa and the Tarantula. Sure enough, my plan is working out well. We have the Metal Claw here, and it hits. Good job, Riolu. And just like that, the Tarantula is gone, and then the real battle begins. In an attempt to beat Katie at her own game, I'm going to tear up my Riolu. Here I was thinking it was going to be a metal type. I did not check this before, obviously, and instead it turns into a fighting type. This really sucks because I just wanted to fire out a couple more Metal Claws and hope it hits. But now I don't have the stab bonus from the Metal Claw. So instead I start playing around with the other attack moves. Really not a great time to be experimenting. And just when I need Riolu the most, he lets me down. He's just loafing around. And then Teddiursa does a couple furry swipes against me. I get a little afraid because it's pretty random at how many times it could happen. But we try Rock Smash. Not very effective. It hits though, and it does a good amount of damage. So I come up with a different strategy now. We're going to get a little bit old school with this. So we're going to attack, hope it hits, and once we get down to a low HP, we're going to use some of those potions that I got when I was attempting to get Riolu to bring Riolu back up to full health. As you can see, we have 3 here. We're going to use these potions, we're going to heal up, then we're going to attack, hope it hits. If we get hit, then we're going to have to potion up again, and we're going to keep on doing that until RNG is on our side. Also, if you haven't noticed, I am playing the in-game music now and we're going at regular speed. Why? Because that Terra music slaps. Our plan is going well here. It is getting tight. Our Riolu now needs to be healed up, so we have 2 more super potions left, which means we have 2 more opportunities to attack. We only need 1 to land. Teddiursa is going to use its Fury Cutter here. We're going to pray that it doesn't critical hit. Luckily it doesn't here, so we're still in the clear. And we're going to attack with Metal Claw, and we're still loafing around. I should mention we also have a couple of Hyper Potions here. I really want to save those. I don't plan to buy a whole bunch of potions. I want to save as much time as possible, so anything I collect, I want to make sure that I have for the battles later on. So we're going to heal back up here, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to use our Metal Claw here. This should be it, and black screen. Yep, thank you, Nintendo. You're going to see here a number of times the Switch recording software screwed me. I didn't realize that it's the previous 30 seconds it records as opposed to the 30 seconds after the point that you started recording. So there are some times where I thought recording was the right time, and unfortunately it wasn't. This is another example. So I'm battling all these Pokemon trying to get Riolu's friendship up. You see all those Shinx? Yeah, that Riolu did a massacre of those Shinx. Unfortunately, as I pressed the record button while it was destroying all those Shinx, it deleted the previous clip. Anyways, it's really confusing. Nintendo, please fix this. I hope for your Switch 2, or what I hope is called the Super Switch, you guys have better recording software. Now we get to a pivotal moment in this challenge. My Sprigatito is level 15. We need to evolve it in a Florigato before we get that second badge. Now, the issue is with our Riolu. We don't really know the friendship level of this Riolu at the moment, and currently it is level 22, so this means it requires a lot more experience to get to that next level. Now, if we think that Riolu has taken down one gym leader already and still hasn't leveled, I've also taken on a couple of other trainers in an attempt to increase its friendship level. So if this Pokemon gets to the next level and it doesn't evolve, we're at a point where we're going to spend a lot more time trying to get to the next level, or we're going to use a rare candy early on in the game, which we don't want to do just yet. So I didn't want to bring out my Riolu for this, but unfortunately we had to because our Sprigatito was about to die from the Skiddo. This Skiddo ends up being a huge pain in my butt. This battle ends up being a lot longer than I thought it would take, but our Sprigatito evolves and you get to see it here. No, unfortunately not. Once again, thanks Nintendo. I'm not going to sweat it too much though. We're in Artisan. We're about to get our second badge and go to the next segment where we get to open a pack in our next episode. We're going to do the sun test. Now, once again, I'm nervous here. We are going to battle a Sunflora here. I know I'm going to have to use the Riolu for it if I'm going to take it down. I know by taking down that Sunflora that I will go to the next level for that Riolu, because I think I only need like 100 experience more. We're right at the end where we're about to level. Now, I'm just praying that it ends up being a case where I have enough friendship level. I think by this point in the game, even though I haven't shown it, I've given my Riolu like 10 baths. I've played with it a number of times, so let's hope it works out. At least now my Riolu has been listening to me, so after beating Katie, the bug gym leader, I now have Pokemon listen to me up to level 25. So things have been smooth sailing with Riolu and me. We're on good terms. Things are going well. Our friendship is up. He likes playing with the ball with me, and he's getting plenty of washes. And here the game kind of pauses for a little bit and Riolu disappears, and thank goodness he ends up evolving into a Lucario. That means based on the game challenge rules, I'm eligible to take on the second badge and move to the next segment. I have my Lucario and I have my Florigato. I'm going to remove my Rock Smash and use Aura Sphere, and it is going to dominate the next gym. We're going to skip the rest of the challenge because it's not important. What we need here is our second badge. So we're going to take on the grass gym leader Brassius. I think that's how you say his name. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever met a guy named Brassius. Have you ever met a guy named Brassius? Do you have a friend named Brass? Is that what they call him? Brassy? Anyways. As you can imagine, my Lucario is stacked. We have no issue at this point. We're going to use Aura Sphere, one-hit KO each of these Pokemon. But as always, we're going to slow down the video for the Terra song. We're going to drop it low because it's an absolute banger. And anyone who suggests otherwise is not a Pokemon master. So there goes Smoliv. It wasn't even close, but here comes Sudowoodo, who is a rock type, who really should be a grass type, but he isn't, I guess. Anyways, it's kind of a weird thing. He's a tree, but he's a stone tree, and he's going to turn into a grass stone tree now. Honestly, I'm starting to think that this Aura Sphere is going to take us through most of the early game. It almost takes Sudowoodo out here, even though it's not effective whatsoever. So I just keep on spamming it. Sudowoodo's gone, and just like that, Brassius is over. We have our second badge, and we can start opening up our 2 new packs. Lucario ends up being an absolute legend. I'm starting to think that early game risk paid off. And I'm hoping in our next 2 packs we get some Pokemon to complement our Florigato and our Lucario. Please let me know in the comments if you think I could have done another strategy for this early game. Anyways, we're at 2 hours and 17 minutes and we're on to the next segment.